I spent a couple of years in government and I spent 10 years consulting before that. I like to think I have an understanding that goes beyond the usual commercial clients, the commercial world. And because when you're in government, you have to deal with all kinds of organizations and all kinds of interests. And so I had to do that. There are a lot of enterprises, a lot of entities out there that participate in the Canadian economy that are not companies. They're not corporations, they're not sole proprietorships, their mission is not to earn a profit for shareholders. Yet those enterprises are still important. They do really important, sometimes very innovative and very interesting things, and they don't often get paid attention to by the investment banking industry. And whether it's capital raising or mergers and acquisitions or restructuring or other kinds of advice, they're still deserving of the same quality of work and the same interest and the same focus as companies are. And so for us at Morrison Park Advisors, that whole segment of not-for-profits or nonprofits or sometimes even charities is a whole group of enterprises that we can help and that do really interesting things and that have great economic potential. And so, frankly, it's a pleasure working with some of those clients. Recently, we've done quite a bit of work working with Indigenous groups. Now, Indigenous groups are different from some of the others in this sort of broad category of non-corporate sector. Indigenous groups typically are participating in transactions because of their association with a particular territory, a particular land environment. And in many instances, it's because they're stewards of the land. And so whether it's an energy company or a mining company or a forestry company that is trying to build a business based on a particular territory, a particular use of land, they are finding themselves in negotiations with local First Nations, local Indigenous groups. And those are commercial transactions. They're not traditional commercial transactions, but they're still commercial transactions. And so we've found some opportunity to offer our advice and our help and our assistance to Indigenous groups that are participating in those commercial transactions, because we think we can bring some experience and some knowledge and some skill to help them do commercial transactions that are successful for them, that create value, and that frankly are good for the commercial groups on the other side. Because it's a win for everybody when there's a good commercial transaction that's orderly and that helps everybody execute on their business plan.